Official plans have been announced for Queen Elizabeth II's funeral. The monarch died on Thursday at the age of 96. In an official statement from the royal family, it was announced that the funeral service will be held Monday, Sept. 19 at 6 a.m. ET. According to the palace, the state funeral of Her Majesty the Queen will take place at Westminster Abbey. Prior to the state funeral, the Queen will lie in state in Westminster Hall for 4 days, to allow the public to pay their respects. The Queen's coffin currently rests in the ballroom at Balmoral Castle. Her Majesty's coffin will travel to Edinburgh on Sunday, by road, and arrive at the Palace of Holyrood House, where it will rest in the throne room until Monday afternoon. Monday will consist of a procession formed on the forecourt of the Palace of Holyrood House to convey the coffin to St Giles Cathedral, Edinburgh. King Charles III and members of the royal family will then take part in the procession and attend a service in St Giles Cathedral to receive the coffin. Elizabeth's coffin will then lie at rest in St Giles Cathedral, guarded by vigils from the Royal Company of Archers, to allow the people of Scotland to pay their respects. The coffin will then travel on Tuesday from Scotland by Royal Air Force aircraft from Edinburgh Airport, arriving at RAF Northolt later that evening. The coffin will be accompanied on the journey by the Princess Royal. The Queen's coffin will then be conveyed to Buckingham Palace by road, to rest in the ballroom. On Wednesday afternoon, the coffin will be borne in procession on a gun carriage of the King's Troop Royal Horse Artillery from Buckingham Palace to the Palace of Westminster, where the Queen will lie in state in Westminster Hall until the morning of the state funeral. The procession will travel via Queen's Gardens, the Mall, Horse Guards, and Horse Guards Arch, Whitehall, Parliament Street, Parliament Square, and New Palace Yard. After the coffin arrives at Westminster Hall, the Archbishop of Canterbury will conduct a short service assisted by the Very Reverend Dr. David Hoyle, Dean of Westminster, and attended by the King and members of the royal family, after which the lying in state will begin. During the lying in state, members of the public will have the opportunity to visit Westminster Hall to pay their respects to the Queen. On the morning of Monday, September 19, the lying in state will end and the coffin will be taken in procession from the Palace of Westminster to Westminster Abbey, where the state funeral service will take place. Following the state funeral, the coffin will travel in procession from Westminster Abbey to Wellington Arch. From Wellington Arch, the coffin will travel to Windsor, and once there, the state hearse will travel in procession to St. George's Chapel, Windsor Castle via the Long Walk. A committal service will then take place in St. George's Chapel. The Queen, who is the United Kingdom's longest-serving monarch, died at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, surrounded by her family, including her 4 children, Charles, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Grandchildren Prince William and Prince Harry were also seen at Balmoral. In the days since her death, family members have honored the beloved monarch in touching statements. William released a statement Saturday, expressing sorrow while also praising the Queen's legacy. Queen Elizabeth closes Platinum Jubilee celebrations with surprise appearance. This video is unavailable because we were unable to load a message from our sponsors. If you are using ad blocking software, please disable it and reload the page.